Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are strapping in for a high seas adventure, but not without some serious turbulence.
That's one way to put it.
We are focusing on a ship that has generated more conflict in its reviews than any launch in recent memory, the Celebrity Xcel.
And this isn't just any ship. This is the newest, the final, and according to its builders, the most evolved vessel in Celebrity Cruises' critically acclaimed Edge-class series.
That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? The most evolved.
It is, because it sets a huge expectation. The XL officially launched on November 16th, 2025, and it had this massive weight on its shoulders.
Following four really successful award-winning sister ships.
Exactly. Edge, Apex, Beyond, and Ascent. For the next few years, it's slated to sail out of Fort Lauderdale and Miami, tackling those 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries.
Before it heads over to Europe.
Right, then it's across the Atlantic for a beautiful Mediterranean season in the summer of 2026, hitting ports like Piraeus for Athens and Malta.
And the pedigree here is just paramount. We are talking about a vessel designed from the ground up to embody modern elegance, sophistication.
It really is. I mean, just look at the core specs. You're dealing with a 3,260 passenger capacity.
Which is pretty standard for this class.
It is, but it's supported by a massive 1,400 crew members. That gives you a very, very respectable 2.33 to 1 passenger to crew ratio.
That's a good number. And it's huge.
Oh, it's a giant. 141,420 tons. This is a thoughtful machine, built in 2025. It's the ultimate flagship experience for the brand.
But here's the core of our mission today. We've got a mountain of reviews in front of us, and they are wildly polarized.
I've never seen anything quite like it for a new build. On one side, you have sources declaring that the XL truly excels. Some are handing out a perfect 5.0 out of 5.0 rating, just praising its innovation.
And on the other side?
The other side, particularly from reviewers who've been loyal to the Edge class since the very first ship, the veterans, you could say, we see really sharp criticism.
They're arguing it misses the mark.
Misses the mark. A noticeable step backward. We're seeing overall scores dipping as low as 3.7 out of 5.0.
Wow, a 3.7 rating for a ship of this caliber in this class. That's basically a warning flag.
It is. That's a substantial discrepancy for a new premium ship.
So how can two highly professional review sets look at the exact same product and come away with such diametrically opposed conclusions?
Because Celebrity promised something fundamentally different. That's the key. They introduced 7 entirely new spaces and completely transformed the architectural heart of the ship, which we'll definitely get to.
So our job today is to synthesize these experiences. Are these changes genuine, positive steps forward?
Or are they compromises?
Yeah.
Maybe driven by a new revenue strategy or even cost-cutting that end up diluting that luxurious, sophisticated identity that the Edge class established. We need to figure out who's right.
Or if maybe they're both right about different parts of the whole experience.
That's probably closer to the truth.
Okay, let's unpack this by starting with the good news. Before we wade into, the great design controversy of 2025, where did the Xcel actually deliver on its promises? Where's that perfect 5.0 rating coming from?
The unanimous successes are almost entirely found in these high-energy, novel entertainment spaces. Celebrity clearly nailed the recreational additions. The first big win is the complete redesign of the upper deck area of the club.
Okay, so the club is that large multi-purpose venue midship.
Right. And its second level has been totally transformed. It's now rebranded as the Attic.
And people love it.
People love it. It's consistently highlighted as a surprisingly fun new concept and a lively, well-executed space.
So what was up there before? It was kind of just overflow seating, wasn't it?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
On the previous Edge-class ships, that mezzanine level within the club often felt, quiet, underutilized. Good for watching the band from a distance, maybe, but it wasn't a destination in itself.
And the Attic changes that.
Completely. It turns it into an adult arcade and game room that is vibrant and busy nearly all day long, not just at night.
And they didn't skimp on the execution, right? It's not just a couple of dusty dartboards thrown in a corner.
Not at all. Reviewers really loved the commitment to free-to-play retro arcade games.
Free-to-play is huge.
It is. No swiping your room key for every game.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking actual classic stand-up cabinets featuring titles like Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, even pinball machines. Then you have pool tables, high-quality darts, foosball.
And those new digital game tables I've read about.
Yeah, the very modern ones. One review just captured the atmosphere perfectly.
Hmm.
They described the concept as, and I'm quoting here, like a nightclub crossed with a vintage arcade, but designed specifically for grown-ups who want a sophisticated, playful escape.
I love that. It adds tangible fun without that constant feeling of being upsold.
That's the key. It's an amenity that adds value.
I really appreciate that they recognized the space wasn't working and pivoted towards something dedicated and genuinely playful. So, moving on, the Excel also introduced a huge novelty factor with IYKK.
Yes. If you know, you know. The secret speakeasy.
This one got a lot of buzz.
It did, and it's cited repeatedly as raising the overall fun factor of the evening experience. The whole point of IYKK is its intentional exclusivity and mystique.
And that mystique starts with just finding the entrance.
Exactly. Finding it as part of the evening's entertainment. It's cleverly disguised, hidden behind a faux photo booth that's located inside the club.
So you have to be in the know.
You really do. Once you figure out the trick and step through, you are immediately transported. It channels a genuine 1920s Prohibition-era lounge.
And what makes the experience inside so special that one reviewer claimed they went every night?
It's the intentional curation and the high-end entertainment. They feature live performers, magicians, dancers, specialty singers, and a really well-thought-out list of cocktails, like their signature Cotton Club drink.
But the big rule is the no phone policy, right?
That's the most important element. Mobile devices are strictly prohibited, and that forces guests to be present, to actually engage with the entertainment and with each other.
It sounds so simple, but that must change the whole dynamic of the room.
It does. It's intimate, it's complimentary. You pay for your drinks, of course, but not for entry or the show. And it feels like a genuine, exclusive secret. That is a key element of modern luxury travel. It makes you feel like you're part of a select group.
That feels like a return to the roots of what premium cruising should be, providing those unexpected, highly polished details.
And speaking of polished details, the redesign of the retail zone into the Celebrity flagship space is universally praised.
This is one I was really curious about.
It's highlighted as one of the ship's brightest highlights and arguably the most successful redesign of all the new venues.
It's fascinating, this concept of turning retail into a genuine experience. How did they achieve that without it just feeling like a glorified, overpriced gift shop?
They did it by successfully blending an immersive brand history exhibit with high-end, exclusive merchandise. It's designed beautifully. Massive digital displays, these beautifully detailed small-scale models of past and present celebrity ships.
And real artifacts.
Yes, genuinely curated historical artifacts.
What kind of stuff are we talking about? Things a real cruise nerd would appreciate.
Absolutely. Reviewers mentioned seeing pieces like early uniforms worn by officers, framed blueprints from the century or Constellation eras, and these detailed historical timeline displays showing the evolution of the fleet's design. It really roots the ship in the brand's legacy.
But then there's the commercial genius of the merchandise.
Which is that it's exclusive and highly customizable. You can get engraving on premium items like water bottles or whiskey decanters. You can get embroidery on robes, printing on cocktail kits and apparel.
So it transforms a shopping trip into creating a keepsake.
It shifts the conversation from shopping to collecting. It's smart branding because it makes you feel like you are buying a piece of the history or the experience itself.
Okay, that's very clever. Now, let's talk about the fundamentals. The bread and butter, cabin comfort and design. Did they stick to the successful Edge class formula for the staterooms?
Yes, for the most part, and the overall assessment remains very strong. The cabins are described as contemporary and thoughtful.
So the beds are still good.
The beds are still great. They definitely maintain the high standards there. Guests universally praise the continuation of the king-size cashmere mattresses, and the bathrooms are well-sized, featuring high-quality rain shower heads. Storage is plentiful.
And technologically, any updates there?
Some small, practical updates. The most appreciated tech feature is the centralized box on the desk that includes a really practical array of plug types.
Oh, that's always a struggle.
Right. So you have standard US sockets, European sockets, and multiple USB ports, including both standard and mini USB. It accommodates global travelers without needing a bag full of adapters.
And the signature feature of the Edge class, the Infinite Veranda, that convertible indoor-outdoor space, that's still there, I assume.
It is. It's the defining architectural hallmark of this class. The exterior window slides down at the touch of a button to create a balcony space, or it closes to maximize your interior room.
It's a great concept.
The concept is stylish, it's functional, and for many guests, it's a positive feature that makes the cabin feel significantly larger than a traditional balcony cabin. It is still a design triumph in terms of maximizing usable space.
But I hear a but coming.
There is a but. This is where we have to note the first functional friction point. While it's conceptually brilliant, that large pane of glass and the mechanism introduce a key, consistent functional issue that became a real sticking point for many reviewers.
And it's about climate control, isn't it?
It is. We will definitely circle back to that when we get into the compromises.
Okay, here's where the atmosphere gets charged. We're now talking about the central, most divisive design decision on the entire ship. The Bazaar.
This is it.
This brand new, triple-height architectural space replaces the beloved serene three-deck-high Eden complex at the ship's aft.
And this transformation is the single reason the reviews are so sharply polarized. It's the elephant in the room. This change completely transforms the atmosphere of the ship's most sophisticated architectural area.
You're moving from what was basically a quiet, beautiful greenhouse.
Exactly. Eden's recognized serene greenhouse ambiance. It was filled with plants, natural light, quiet music, to a digitally driven, high-energy entertainment and market hub.
So let's start with the vision. What was Celebrity intending here? Why are the positive reviewers defending this massive change?
The narrative is focused entirely on immersion and energy. The Bazaar is designed to immerse guests in the destinations the ship visits, attempting to blur the line between ship and shore.
And they're promising authentic tastes and fun festivals that last all day.
Right. And the core critique of Eden, which is fair, was that it was often only lively at night during the signature performances. Otherwise, it was a beautiful but very quiet lounge.
Maybe a little underutilized during the day.
The Bazaar aims to be bustling with activity all day long, offering non-stop entertainment, hands-on crafts, lessons. It's about maximizing every square foot of that prime real estate.
So they essentially swapped architectural calm for functional utility.
Precisely. It's a dynamic, kinetic venue. It transforms completely across a 7-day cruise, featuring 3 or 4 distinct immersive festival experiences.
Like what? What's an example?
On Caribbean itineraries, you get themed events like the Viva Festival, which is inspired by Cozumel, the Flora Festival with Dominican Republic vibes, and then Sea Day celebrations like the Aqua Festival and Carnival Festival.
What are guests actually doing during these festivals? Are they just watching, or is it truly interactive?
It's designed to be multi-sensory and highly interactive. During the Aqua Festival, for example, which celebrates the ocean, you get these unique ambient shows, exclusive themed drinks like the Aqua Blossom cocktail, and hands-on crafts.
Craft you pay for.
Often for a small fee, yeah. Say $10, which covers materials. You might learn to make your own custom-scented salt scrub or paint a watercolor bookmark. During the Carnival Festival, you can craft mini maracas or masks.
And the positive reviewers clearly felt this was a huge upgrade.
They did. Their conclusion was that the Bazaar is next level and perfects the design ethos of immersion. They felt it was vibrant, engaging, and connected to the itinerary. For them, Eden was a beautiful but underutilized space. And the Bazaar solved that problem by injecting continuous themed activity.
But I have to challenge that narrative because this is where the conflict comes in. For a premium cruise line, isn't underutilized simply code for serene and luxurious?
That's a fantastic point.
Did Celebrity sacrifice a key luxury differentiator, that quiet architectural elegance that set the Edge class apart, for a high-volume, potentially mass-market party vibe that also happens to generate craft revenue?
That is the exact thesis of the critical perspective. And it leads us directly into the reality, the negative side of the reviews. Critics are furious because they believe the functional constraints of the architecture were just ignored in favor of the spectacle.
So it looks cool, but it doesn't work.
Exactly. While the Bazaar is visually impressive at first glance, it struggles fundamentally as a gathering space.
What are the specific functional failures? What's not working?
The primary complaint is severe overcrowding. Reviewers noted that during high-demand events, the triple height space is often uncomfortably crowded. Unlike a dedicated theater, the layout is not optimized for viewing large performances.
I can see that.
The space is described as too cramped, it's obstructed by large structural poles, and your sightlines are constantly broken by pop-up market stalls and these massive LED screens.
So the visual impressiveness actually sacrifices the usability of the space.
Absolutely. And compounding this, the high-energy nature of the festivals combined with what seems to be a lack of sufficient air conditioning output for such a large atrium space with floor-to-ceiling windows.
It gets hot.
It heats up quickly.
Ah.
That lively, bustling environment can quickly turn into a hot, chaotic, stressful experience.
Navigating a market should be fun, not a chore.
It should. But here, the limited seating and the chaotic market flow create real friction. For high-demand evening shows, reviewers warn that you have to arrive 30 to 45 minutes early just to secure a spot for standing room,
Standing room.
let alone a seated, comfortable view. The final verdict from the negative camp is harsh. While it's new and dynamic, it lacks Eden's cozy charm. And by moving so heavily into digital marketplaces and high-volume entertainment, it reduced the ship's overall sense of curated, peaceful luxury.
It's a shift from an architectural masterpiece to a constantly bustling convention center.
That is the perfect way to put it. They prioritized the programming idea, the festivals over the passenger comfort needed for a genuinely premium experience. So let's move to dining. This is usually a massive strength for Celebrity. They're known for high-quality, inventive food.
Right. It's one of their main selling points.
But the Xcel exhibits this remarkable inconsistency, which critics suggest is a tangible sign of prioritizing revenue generation in key specialty areas over guaranteed culinary innovation.
Okay, so let's start positive. What were the culinary standouts? What food additions genuinely impressed people?
The new casual options are major wins. A new place called Spice is consistently hailed as a standout improvement and one of Xcel's most valuable additions.
And this replaces the old Eden Cafe.
It does, and it serves as a complimentary grab-and-go spot located right within the Bazaar.
So what makes Spice so great? What's the food like?
It focuses on delicious, customizable bowls for breakfast and lunch, along with rotating daily specials designed to reflect the region. Think customizable yogurt and fruit parfaits or savory lunch bowls with regional influences.
That sounds really good.
One reviewer highlighted a fantastic pineapple ginger turkey bowl and a carnival breakfast sandwich that had house-made guava jam. It provides genuine quality and value at zero extra cost.
And that detail probably offsets some of the perceived penny pinching you see elsewhere.
100%. It's a smart move.
Okay, so that's a win for complimentary dining. What about the new specialty venue, Bora?
Bora is fascinating. It's a new Mediterranean alfresco venue that replaces the rooftop garden grill, and it's a split success. While its dinner service struggled, the Bora brunch is uniformly praised and often called exceptional.
This is the $42 boozy brunch, right?
Correct. For $42, it includes a dedicated Bloody Mary cart, and the menu is fantastic. Reviewers raved about the decadent caramelized French toast served with chantilly cream and candied pecans. They called it a must-try.
And the atmosphere is good, too.
The atmosphere, with live music and the beautiful Mediterranean-themed setting, makes it feel like an excellent value for a high-end, leisurely brunch experience. They nailed the brunch.
Wait a minute. The brunch is exceptional, hitting that premium note perfectly, but the $80 specialty dinner service at the same place misses the mark. That suggests a real inconsistency in the kitchen's evening execution.
It absolutely does, and that leads us directly into the expensive disappointments.
Yeah.
The Bora dinner, priced at $80, fails to live up to the promise. Reviewers love the atmosphere.
How so?
They start you off with this charming pre-dinner spritz hour featuring live music and beautiful views. It's a great start. But the food itself lacked the flavor and finesse expected for that price point. It just felt generic, not high-end Mediterranean.
And then there's Mosaic. This is the replacement for the highly regarded Eden restaurant. At $110 per person, this needs to be a showstopper.
And it was not. Critics found Mosaic overpriced and not particularly memorable. It offers two fixed menus, one Caribbean and one Mediterranean. But here's the major strategic and culinary disappointment. The big missed opportunity.
What was it?
Mosaic failed to genuinely rotate its dishes based on the specific ports the ship visited.
So if they docked in Cozumel, they didn't offer a specific Cozumel-inspired dish for dinner that night.
Correct. They relied on broad, regional themes rather than hyper-local, port-specific inspiration. And that lack of genuine connection to the destination completely undermines the entire mission statement of the Bazaar area it's housed within, which promised hyper-local immersion.
It feels static, uninventive.
And definitely not worth the $110 price tag.
When you look at all the evidence high prices for specialty dining that underperforms, removing complementary venues like the dedicated spa cafe and the solarium, it's easy to understand why one major critic concluded that Xcel feels like it's prioritizing revenue over culinary innovation.
It's really the only way to synthesize the data. They replaced a complimentary wellness venue with a paid champagne bar, and they charge $110 for a menu that lacks rotation or finesse. When a seasoned cruiser drops the overall taste score to a 3.0 out of 5.0, that suggests a strategic shift.
A shift where maximizing revenue per guest outweighed maintaining that reputation for flawless food.
That's it, exactly.
Okay, let's pivot to the other side of the performance coin. Entertainment successes. Did the theatrical productions manage to pull their weight and provide that necessary luxury value?
Thankfully, yes. This is a huge bright spot. The theatrical productions are universally hailed as clear triumphs. Celebrity continues to invest heavily in its main stage technology and talent.
And the ship debuts 3 exclusive main stage productions.
It does. Let's talk about Between Takes.
I've heard amazing things about this one.
It's described as a triumph and easily the best main stage show seen on Celebrity. It's a very clever meta-theatrical production. Crucially, it relies heavily on complex live staging, clever physical set pieces, and exceptionally strong vocals. It gives it this dynamic, raw, original feel.
So it's not just another digital screen show.
Not at all. And the other big one, Chapters, was also highly praised. Reviewers noted its outstanding production quality, highlighting the use of transformational stage pieces and cutting-edge digital imagery. It's been called one of Celebrity Cruise's best stage shows yet.
And the theater itself is a powerhouse, right?
The largest in the fleet. It has 7 distinct stage areas, and they clearly utilize that capability to create genuinely immersive, high-quality, professional theatrical content.
They also added new interactive experiences in the club, which extends that positive energy we saw with the Attic and IYKK.
Exactly. You have 254 West, which is this high-energy 70s disco homage with aerialists and talented singers. And there's Hotel, a comedic murder mystery that requires audience participation. These additions confirm that Celebrity's commitment to professional, high-end theatrical content is still unwavering.
However, we have to return to the entertainment constraints. We've got this brilliant, high-quality content, but once again, the delivery system, the venue is the bottleneck, right?
Unfortunately, yes. The quality is there, but the capacity is not. This is most evident in the Bazaar. The Bazaar celebrations are visually stunning, but the performance is just severely limited by the venue's design.
The poles, the screens, the lack of space.
It leads directly back to that overcrowding issue we discussed.
And even in the otherwise successful venues like the Club, which hosts 254 West.
The same problem applies. For a highly popular, high-energy interactive show like 254 West, the venue's limited seating means guests must dedicate 30 to 45 minutes of their pre-show time just to queue and secure a spot.
And if you don't?
If you arrive just 10 minutes before the performance, you risk standing for the entire high-energy performance, which seriously detracts from that premium feeling. The quality is high, but the passenger experience is strained.
Beyond the main entertainment and dining venues, the details truly matter, especially for a brand that markets itself on sophisticated, thoughtful design.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Let's look at the functional and aesthetic areas where critics say the ship stumbled. And let's start with a big one, the pool problem. Crowding.
This is perhaps the most significant functional design miss on the entire ship. The main pool area, the pool club, has been redesigned beautifully. It's elevated aesthetically and functionally. They now offer a pool valet.
A pool valet? What does that entail?
Chill towels, complimentary sunscreen, organized games, and they've added new rentable VIP cabanas. All this sounds like a great enhancement.
So why is it a miss? What's the problem?
The issue is scale and redundancy. Reviewers noted that the pool club is, structurally, essentially the only dedicated large outdoor pool on the entire ship that's accessible to all guests.
Oh, wow.
The solarium has a fantastic indoor pool for adults, but on hot sea days in the Caribbean, that main pool gets crowded quickly. Celebrity just failed to provide sufficient alternative open-air pool options for a vessel of this size.
So they put all their eggs in one beautifully designed but structurally undersized basket.
That's a perfect way to describe it. It might transform into the popular The Poolest Day Ever party on the last sea day, which is a big hit with live music and exclusive drinks, but for the rest of the voyage, it's a bottleneck. This is a clear compromise.
Let's move to the underwhelming spa. Xcel supposedly boasts the most expansive spa in the entire fleet and introduced a new therapeutic pool.
It does. That new feature is the Hydro Room. It's a warm, bubbling, therapeutic pool, kind of like a small vitality pool, with massaging jets and heated ceramic loungers.
Sounds nice.
The whole spa complex is massive. It offers 8 distinct thermal suite experiences. However, the critical consensus is that the Hydra Room, the main water feature, is pretty tiny.
Especially compared to other cruise lines.
Right, especially when compared to the expansive hydrotherapy pools offered by competitors known for wellness at sea. It just doesn't deliver the spacious, tranquil grandeur you'd expect from the fleet's most expansive spa.
And as we noted, accessing this suite requires a substantial outlay. The Thermal Suite Week Pass is $399.
It's a steep price point, and it is higher than the average on its sister ships like Ascent, even adjusting for demand.
So for almost $400, what exactly are you getting access to?
You get access for the full 7 days to all 8 thermal experiences. The Hydra Room, the Salt Room, the Crushed Ice Fountain, the Relaxation Hammam, the Steam Room, the Infrared Sauna, the Sensory Shower Experience, and the Heated Ceramic Loungers.
It's a comprehensive list.
It is, but the criticism remains focused on the central amenity, the Hydra Room being disappointingly small for that premium price.
Was there anything positive about the spa design? Any genuine improvements?
Yes, there was one. The new open-air Vitamin D deck. This is an outdoor terrace exclusive to Thermal Suite guests located at the front of the ship.
And it's nice.
It offers panoramic views and creates a genuinely lovely new outdoor relaxation space that definitely enhances the value of the pass. But again, you see the trade-off.
The dedicated spa cafe in the nearby Calarium is gone.
It's gone. That place offered healthy, complimentary snacks and light fare. It was eliminated and replaced with a small bubbles and champagne bar.
Another shift from complimentary wellness toward a paid amenity.
You see the pattern.
Now, for perhaps the most telling part of the critique, the perceived aesthetic downgrades. For a brand that stakes its reputation on high art and design cohesion, critics found some very surprising, almost penny-pinching cutbacks.
This was deeply concerning for the veteran Edge-class cruisers. Xcel shows a noticeable decline in art compared to its sisters. And this isn't just about the main public spaces, it's about the small, intentional details that define true luxury.
So what specifically was missing?
The most glaring and frankly strange cutback was the complete absence of artwork in the stateroom bathrooms.
That seems so minor, but also so specific.
It is, but it was a small, high-end design feature present on every other Edge-class vessel. It added this finished, curated feel to a space that is often overlooked on mass-market ships. Eliminating it signals a very conscious decision to save cost on small details.
That tiny detail, the art missing in the bathroom, says everything about where they chose to save money.
It really does. And then there's the controversial AI-generated elevator art.
Oh, I read about this.
The apparent use of digitally generated art in the elevators was called a concerning cutback that feels out of step for the premium brand, known for championing human artists and genuine curation.
So when you combine the reduction of original art with replacing the serene Eden, what's the overall feeling?
The ship starts to feel less curated and less elevated than its predecessors. It's a shift in its image from an artistic design project to a maximized entertainment vessel.
And finally, let's revisit the cabins and address the complaints about stateroom comfort.
2 consistent comfort complaints emerged, both relating to high-end features. First, let's go back to that Infinite Veranda issue we touched on.
Yeah.
While it's flexible, the rooms tend to heat up noticeably when the window is lowered, particularly in hot, humid Caribbean climates.
So why does the Infinite Veranda specifically heat up the room more than a traditional balcony? Is it a functional flaw in the design?
It's a fundamental consequence of the design paired with the ship's HVAC system. When that window is fully lowered, it creates a much larger opening than a standard balcony door. Warm air just floods the main stateroom area very quickly.
And the air conditioning can't keep up.
Exactly. The system on Xcel often struggled to compensate for that sudden, large infusion of Caribbean heat and humidity. It led to uncomfortable temperatures until the system could finally catch up.
And the second comfort complaint?
Multiple guests reported that the king-size cashmere mattresses, while premium, were extremely firm, sometimes to the point of reported discomfort. Now, this is often subjective, but the volume of complaints suggests a potential change in mattress firmness compared to earlier Edge-class ships.
And for anyone ready to book, which cabins are the ones to avoid if noise is a big concern for you?
The reviews specifically suggested avoiding cabins directly behind the Martini bar on Deck 3, as the atrium activity and the ice smashing can be allowed.
And the other spot.
Cabins directly above the club on Deck 6, especially if the discotheque continues late into the night. We have to address the practical reality for you, the listener, the cost. Being the newest vessel in a popular high-end class drives massive demand, and the reviews confirm this is reflected in eye-watering price increases. We're calling it the high cost of hype.
We saw an anecdote illustrating some pretty extreme pricing volatility, didn't we?
We did, and it's a painful lesson in dynamic pricing. One prospective passenger was planning a June Mediterranean sailing on the Xcel. They noted that the price for an interior cabin, the absolute cheapest room, jumped dramatically,
From what to what?
from $1,300 per person to $2,100 per person in a matter of just a few weeks. That is a 61% increase. It just illustrates the incredible demand and how quickly price brackets can disappear on a flagship during its inaugural season.
So, what is the expert consensus on the price trends for Excel should you wait for a price drop?
The consensus is firm. Don't wait. Prices for the newest ship are unlikely to drop much because the demand is so incredibly high. The ship is essentially operating at a premium and will continue to command a premium price tag throughout its inaugural season and probably beyond.
And how does this premium compare to the rest of the market?
It creates a stark difference. For comparison, rates for a comparable balcony stateroom on Excel can range from 40% higher to almost double the price of Princess Cruises' newest ship, the Star Princess.
And they're in the same premium segment.
They are. This clearly signals that Celebrity is pricing the Xcel based on its brand reputation and the perceived scarcity of sailing on the newest vessel, not just matching its direct competitor's new build pricing.
So if you want the Excel experience, you should absolutely prepare to pay a substantial premium. What are the key booking strategy takeaways for the listener? How can you mitigate this high cost and volatility?
The fundamental rule of dynamic pricing reality is that prices generally trend up as the sailing date approaches for a popular new ship. So the first strategy is simple. Booking as early as possible when you find a price that works for you is absolutely crucial.
Don't engage in wishful thinking about last-minute drops.
Exactly. Don't do it.
But if you're still researching, what tactical moves can you make?
You can use some mitigation strategies. Celebrity allows guests to place a short 5-day hold on a specific fare, often with no immediate payment. That locks in that price while you coordinate with your travel partner or finalize your plans.
And what about using a travel agent?
Using a dedicated travel agent is frequently recommended. They often have access to group rates and, more importantly, they have tools to monitor for potential, though unlikely, price drops before your final payment date.
Did we see any evidence that those surprise price drops actually happen, even with all this intense hype?
We did, and this proves that monitoring is worthwhile. One user on a cruise forum noted a surprise drop example. They reported that a concierge-class balcony on a previously expensive sailing suddenly dropped to $1,977 per person.
And the crucial part.
That was cheaper than the current interior cabin prices on the same sailing. It illustrates that dramatic fluctuations still occur due to cancellations or inventory management. So price monitoring is a key strategy before final payment is due.
Finally, let's paint a picture of who is on board. The demographics. Who is this expensive, sophisticated ship actually attracting?
The passenger profile consists mainly of affluent, sophisticated travelers. They are looking for excellent food, high-quality modern design, and professional entertainment.
And the vibe is strongly adult-focused.
Very much so. The Xcel lacks the big thrill activities, the water slides, ropes courses, go-karts, the massive kids clubs that you find on competing family-focused lines. It is definitely suited more for teens and above who appreciate art and dining.
And what's the typical age range you'd expect to see on board?
The average age runs generally between the mid-40s to the mid-50s, though Celebrity, of course, welcomes all ages. The brand also has a long-standing, strong reputation for inclusivity.
Especially for LGBTQ plus guests.
Very welcoming to LGBTQ plus guests, and they actively cater to solo travelers.
How do they specifically cater to solo travelers beyond just being welcoming?
They commit to it in the design. The Xcel offers 32 cabins specifically dedicated to solo travelers. These are single-occupancy staterooms designed to price for one person. They also offer specific social gatherings to help those guests connect.
And for accessibility.
There are 25 wheelchair-accessible cabins across multiple categories, ensuring wide doors, roll-in showers, and easy access across the entire vessel.
That brings us to our final synthesis of the Celebrity Xcel. This ship is a fascinating study in the internal conflict of a premium brand trying to evolve.
It really is. It's both entirely new and yet feels immediately familiar. But the reviews prove that innovation isn't always perceived as improvement.
Not at all.
The Xcel succeeds dramatically in specific high-energy, novel spots. The attic, the hidden IYKYK speakeasy, and those phenomenal main stage shows like Between Takes. That's where it earns that 5.0 rating for innovation.
However,
it sacrifices the nuanced, quiet, luxurious feeling of its predecessors in key functional areas. The shift from the serene Eden to the crowded, revenue-focused Bazaar, the noticeable reduction in curated art and detail, the small spa amenities,
And the functional compromises in the Infinite Veranda and the pool areas.
all of it signals a strategic pivot.
It sounds like the Excel is setting a direction for the future of celebrity that leans heavily into dynamic, immersive, revenue-generating entertainment, perhaps at the direct expense of the quiet sophistication and architectural serenity that originally defined the Edge class.
It's the maximized version of the brand. That's the critical distinction. And the overall ratings reflect this identity conflict perfectly. One expert, valuing the new entertainment and immersion, gives it a perfect 5.0.
And the other.
Yet another seasoned Edge-class cruiser, focused on the decline in sophisticated detail and culinary innovation for the high price, gives it a 3.7 out of 5.0 and flatly recommends Celebrity Ascent as the strongest expression of the brand today.
So ultimately, you, the passenger, have to decide which version of celebrity you actually want, because they are now operating two very different experiences under the same banner.
They really are.
So what does this all mean for the trajectory of premium cruising as a whole?
This raises a really important question for you to consider before you commit to those high prices. If the new generation of cruise ships focuses less on high art, less on serenity, and intentionally reduces sophisticated, underutilized architectural spaces like Eden, and shifts toward highly immersive, constantly evolving, revenue-generating entertainment like the Bazaar, does that fundamentally shift the identity of a premium cruise line?
Are they transforming from being a luxury designer
Right, focus on flawless, curated physical environment,
to becoming primarily an experience curator?
focused on programmed high-energy immersion. And ultimately, which experience, the quiet elegance or the high-energy, customized festival, will command the highest price tag and retain the most loyalty in the competitive luxury cruise market in the years to come? It's something worth deeply mulling over before you book your ticket.